How's it going, everybody? Looks like we're actually about to start now. We've got Maryland 12-22 Maryland taking on 20-11 Iowa in the second round of the Big Ten tournament. Hopefully, again, we have a good one. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you, Ricky, George, nephew. Thank you again. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Robbie, thank you for tuning in. I don't know how long you'll be here. Appreciate you guys again for tuning in again. Actually, Maryland did beat Iowa 77-70 earlier in the season, so maybe we have a potential upset brewing as Iowa does win the opening tip. This is Koch. Koch back to Combs. Combs to Sturts. Sturts with it on the near side, going left to right. Iowa in yellow, Maryland in black. This is Combs. Combs spinning around inside. Bounce pass is going to go out of bounds. So not connecting there on the pass. Iowa, averaging 75 points a game. Maryland at 70. Maryland's defense, though, is a concern, allowing 77 points a game to Iowa's 66. All right, here we go. Maryland with it. This is Mills. Mills with it down the far side. In the far corner, looking for some help. Kicks it inside to Metcalf. Metcalf trying to muscle his way in, but now kicks it back out as Mills. Floater gets the bucket, but they're going to call the travel. So the shot is nullified. So no score there. Sturts over here to Combs. Combs, intercepted by Mills. Mills passes inside, lays it in. They're going to call a foul, I think, on Sturts, as Washington could not convert, and he will head to the line for the first, most likely, points of the day. Solomon Washington is 66% free throw shooter, so you'd think he hits one of these. Again, appreciate you, Robbie. Good luck with your again, within school and all that, as Washington actually misses the first. Let's go Hawkeyes. Ricky pulling for the Hawkeyes. Gotcha. Have covered the Hawkeyes once before. I think they almost beat Michigan, but then they did indeed lose the game. As Washington with the second. That one is good. First points of the game via a Washington free throw. Sturts finding Combs. Combs with it back to Sturts. Again, going left to right. As here is, let's see, this is Manuel. Manuel back to Sturts. Starts with a beyond the arc, driving in, kicks it out here to Banks. Banks driving the lane, puts it off the glass, but he misses, gets the rebound, kicks it out for a three. That's short. Rebounded there by Washington. Washington to Mills. Back to Washington. Washington driving inside, puts it, he's stuffed, but it finds another Terrapin. Terrapins with it. This is Mills. Mills with it at the logo. At half court. Mills coming to the near side again, going right to left. Mills cutting in, driving the lane. Pump fake, bounce pass inside. He's underneath the basket. Then he's going to go out. Midway jumper, gets it. Washington with a couple of shots here. 3-0 Maryland leading over Iowa. Here's Banks. Banks to Combs. Combs driving in. Bounce pass to Banks. Banks muscling his way. Puts it up, seeking contact. And they're going to call a travel. Not looking good for Iowa out of the gate. 3-0 Maryland. Appreciate you, Anthony, for tuning in. Good to see you, CB. Got your alma mater here. Alma mater. Can't speak for some reason. Ricky going with the Hawkeyes. And good morning, Doc. Again, good morning. Good. Well, I guess it is still morning for me. As here is Mills. Mills driving in. Mid-range jumper. That one's too short. Rebounded by Banks. Banks now taking up for Iowa. Again, going left to right, finding Sturts. Sturts with it on the near side. Rain is coming down around my house, but I don't think it's a thunderstorm. Who knows? Sturts with it, driving in. Lays it off the glass, gets the friendly roll. Iowa on the board. Took them 2.5 minutes, but there they are. 17:30 and counting. As here is Maryland. I believe this is Coit. Coit with the pass that's loose and goes out of bounds. Saunders not liking something that Mills did. Mills wasn't really involved in play, but Saunders looking for a scapegoat, I guess. How's it going, Anthony? Appreciate you, man. Look at that. 2 Anthonys in the chat. Look at that. Here's Banks. Banks over there to the corner. Kicks it back out to Sturts. Sturts driving in. Now beyond the arc once again. Manyow floats it into Banks. Banks puts it up. Doesn't get it. Trying to get his own rebound, but then stumbles out of bounds. But apparently Mills touched it last. So it'll remain with Iowa. 3-2 again. Your score, 17 minutes exact left to go in the first. Who the heck wears 11? I don't know. Dr. Lay, oh, how's it going? Again, Trisk, thank you again. As we got a guy coming inside. Now he kicks it out. Koch with it, kicks it in. Manyow is going to be fouled as he's trying to put it up. Doesn't get the shot, but we'll go to the line for two. Manyow is a 66% free throw shooter. Maryland did beat Iowa. Yes. Saw that. They beat them 77-70. So interesting stuff. As Manyow with the first does convert it, tying the game at 3. Manyow, again, not the best free throw shooter, but, you know, hey, 66%. You can live with that from a forward, as that one's going to be in and out. Berger, that is. Washington with the rebound. Passing to Mills. Mills bringing it up again, going right to left. Maryland again in black, as Iowa is in yellow. Maryland with it. This is Coit. Coit back to Mills. Mills into Saunders. Saunders looking around. Pardon me, that's Metcalf. Metcalf looking around. Hands it off to Mills. Back to Metcalf. Metcalf to Saunders. Saunders underneath. Puts it up. Doesn't get it. And it's going to be rebounded by Iowa. That was kind of an awkward saying. I don't know why I did. Anyway, whatever. Sturts with it. Sturts to Manyow. Manyow with it. And now going to hand it off to Combs. Combs to Banks. Banks with it. Bounce pass to Sturts. Again beyond the... Sturts from way downtown. Too strong. Rebounded by Maryland. Not much scoring so far. About to be 16 minutes left to go. Again, 4 minutes of gameplay. As this is Coit. Coit with it at the logo. Coit looking around. Guarded there by Combs. Coit to Mills. Mills again with it beyond the arc. 10 to shoot. Mills, oh, off his foot. Taken away by Sturts. Sturts with it. Sturts passes to Koch. Koch looking for a guy. Finding Banks to Sturts. Sturts with it. Driving the lane. Oh, he's stuffed at the rim. What a play there by, I believe that was Metcalf. Here is Coit. Coit with it. Coit looking around. Finding Mills. Mills at the logo. Now driving inside. Puts it up. Doesn't get the bucket, but he is fouled. And Mills will go to the line for a couple of shots. Want to say that'll be a TV timeout, though. Is it right? Yep, it is. 15:21 left to go. Only 3-3. 3-3 is your score. Anthony's got $8 on Maryland. Gotcha, man. Good luck. Good luck, Anthony. Am I listening to basketball or hockey? Yeah, I know, right? Too many shots are off target or whatnot. But I'm sure scoring will ramp up soon. These guys average both teams average 70 plus a game. Again, Maryland 70, Iowa 75. The problem is Maryland's defense not good, allowing 77 points a game. Iowa 66. Iowa usually makes their shots. They shoot 49% from the field. Maryland only at a 41% clip, but they apparently get more rebounds. So maybe that's the difference of the game. In the Big Ten tourney, the team seeded 15 and below needs to win 6 times to win the tournament. Truly a gauntlet if either Penn State or Maryland. Yeah, for sure. It'll be tough. The winner of this game will play Ohio State. That is the number 8 seed. Mexico needs to win by 5 or more, or Italy win, and USA. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough. How do we lose to Italy? Yeah, it was just bad pitching and all that. They didn't take the game seriously. Yeah. Apparently the manager, Mark DeRosa, thought they had already clinched, so that's not good. That is not good. So that makes it look dumb. At this rate, the final score could be 11-14. It could. It really could, Anthony. That would be a bummer. USA Baseball was supposedly ranked number 1, though most likely not even. And I mean, they're still. I mean, I feel like they're still the best team. I mean, again, folks, and I'm sure everyone knows this. You know, the Patriots didn't go undefeated every year, right? You know, when they were dominating in the 2000s, the 2010s. Again, the Dodgers, they don't win every game. In fact, they actually only won 94 last year. You know, they have the best roster, but they weren't even the number 1 seed. think they were the 3 in the NL. So it is what it is. I mean, you go 3-1. That should be the minimum. Albeit, again, you should expect to win. But, I mean, baseball is indeed one of those sports where it's kind of random, kind of like basketball. You play so many games, randomness happens. And, again, you see football, upsets not as much. I mean, you do see upsets in football, but, like, the sample size is so small with only 17 games now. But, anyway, I hired this guy, Mark DeRosa, former Chicago Cub. Come on, Hawkeyes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, Ricky. It's baseball. Anyone can win. You just got to show up that day. Yep. Your opinion of the Ravens backing out of the Crosby trade and getting Hendrickson? Right move on the Ravens. No, they did exactly what they needed to do. They overpaid. I said it as soon as I heard the news. I laughed. As Mills does miss the first. Mills is 76% free throw shooter. I mean, I was like, they overpaid. They are mortgaging their future, going all in on this year. And I think they understood that. So they used the physical as an excuse. As, yeah, they can do that because it wasn't the league year yet. It makes the second 4-3. Here is Banks. Banks with it. Passing back to Sturtz. Sturtz taking it down the near side. Finding, this is Fulgaris. Fulgaris with it. Back to Sturtz. Sturtz to Fulgaris. Fulgaris underneath. Oh, it's tipped and stripped away. Mills with it now. And a random guy falling down on the other side. Passes to Coit. Coit was the one that fell down. There was no one there around except Casper. Mills with it. Back to Coit. Coit at the logo again, leading 4-3. As he finds, here we go, new guy here. We have Saunders. That is not a new guy. Mills is stripped, and it's taken away by Iowa. It looks like Howard's going to slam it in and takes the lead. Iowa leading 5-4. Back-to-back turnovers, 14 fast point breaks per game. That's actually not that much, 13th in the Big Ten. As here is Coit. Coit to Washington. Washington kicks it out. Pump fakes. Driving inside in the lane. Hop step. Trying to put it up. Gets the bucket. That was Darius Adams checking in there for Maryland. Good stuff from Adams with his first possession of the day. 6-5. Again, Maryland leading over Iowa. This is Fulgaris. Fulgaris to Koch. Koch back to Sturtz. Sturtz with it on the far side. Again, going left to right on your screen or radio, whatever it is, as that's going to be passed inside, knocked away by Saunders. Out of bounds, Iowa ball. It's every bad move. No, it's just Trisk being Trisk. That's just what Trisk does. I saw a clip of Crosby in the hospital. Was that? I don't even know. I don't know. Fulgaris gets the inbound, puts it up, doesn't get the friendly roll. Rebounded there by Maryland. As this again, Adams with it. He's acting as the point. Down the near side. Looking around. Adams spinning around. Trying to find somebody. Adams kicks it out here. I believe this is Watts. Watts checking in here. Getting his first touch of the game. Watts looking around back to Coit. Coit with it. He just jacks up a three. That's going to be off the side of the rim. Rebounded there by Sturtz. Sturtz with it. Again, Maryland leading 6-5. Kicks it in, but now they're going to call a foul on Coit. Underneath. Not a shooting foul, of course, so Iowa will just have to inbound. I would imagine not know the tiebreakers. Yeah, I mean, that is a little disappointing for sure. Fulgaris to Howard. Howard with it. Howard to, let's see, this is Banks. Banks putting it up. Doesn't get the friendly roll. Banks still on the ground. It's going to be a 5-on-4 for Maryland. Kicks it to Adams. Adams almost loses it. Adams with it beyond the arc, finding Coit. Now it's a 5-on-5 as Banks joins his team. Coit with it again at the logo. Coit looking around, coming to the near side again, going right to left. Coit finding, again, this is Watts. Watts with it on the far side. Watts driving inside. Hands it off to Iowa. Stolen by Howard. Howard with it. Hands it back to Sturtz, who puts it up, gets the baskets. Seeing some turnovers, folks. 7-6 or 6-7. Iowa with it. Or, pardon me, Maryland with it. Coit. Iowa with the lead, is what I meant to say, is Coit driving in, spinning around, half spin. Oh, it's taken away by Sturtz. Another turnover. Sturtz to Koch, and Sturtz is contacted hard, and he is fouled by Elijah Saunders. USA could have gotten a lot better. Honestly, yeah, I don't think DeRosa's even a manager. I don't even think he's ever managed before. So I completely agree. Just get like a guy that's retired, or Clint Hurdle. That would have been a great hire. Oh man, he should have been managing. Yeah, Clint Hurdle's like the GOAT. I mean, he took the Rockies to the World Series and made the Pirates legit. Today's word of the day is defense, or maybe bad offense. Here's Fulgaris. Fulgaris to Sturts again, 7-6. Kicks it out here to Howard. Howard on the corner, driving in. Kicks it out to Koch. Koch for a 3. Gets it. Double digits for Iowa. Oh, pardon me. That's way back. Okay, there we go. 10-6 is your score. Here is Maryland. I believe this is Washington. Washington to Adams. Adams passing to an unfamiliar face as he kicks it in the corner there to Adams for 3. That's going to be off the mark. Rebounded there by Washington. And now there's Watts for a 3, and he answers back. 10-9, Iowa leading over Maryland. Here's Sturts. Sturts with it as Sturts just shoots up a 3. It's too strong. Rebounded there by Maryland. Metcalf to Adams. Adams with it, looking around. Just kicks it, finds Washington. Back to Adams. Pump fakes. Looking around. Back to Watts. Watts there to, again, Adams. 11 left to play here in the first. Iowa leading 10-9. Adams driving inside. Step back. Far 2. Gets it. 11-10 is your score. Maryland, of course, with the lead. As here is Iowa. Oh, and he's rejected at the rim, but they're going to call a foul. Actually, they're going to call an offensive foul. They're going to call an offensive foul there on Koch. And that should take us to a TV timeout, and I think they will. Maryland 11, Iowa 10, 10:42 left to go in the first. Manager thought they were already in, then he's done. He should be replaced. All you know, everything, yeah. So I have the merits. It was a DEI decision. I guess so, yeah, that's fair. Didn't earn it. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, has he? I have to look that up. Did Mark DeRosa, did he ever even manage before? I'm actually kind of curious now. To be honest, I don't think it's that hard to be a manager. I mean, you just put the best players on the field. That's just me. Simple thinking, right? But you tired today? That's baseball. You're fine. Post-playing career. I don't think he has. Pretty much the criticism I've heard for Mark DeRosa, again, second baseman for the Cubs. Or no, he was a utility player. Just played anywhere. But, and I remember him on the Cubs. He only played actually for the Cubs for a year. Wow. But anyway, yeah, I don't even know if he... Oh, he managed them before. Oh, he managed in 2023. Oh. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care personally. Let's see that. Maryland really fell off losing the coach and queen. So yeah, Maryland and Oregon, they were the opening round. I mean, I'm kind of sad I didn't cover the game yesterday. I covered, I don't even know. I think I just did the one game. Yeah, I didn't have any faith in it. That's, I guess, on me. But anyway, yeah, Maryland and Oregon both played in the first round of the Big Ten tournament yesterday. And they both at least won one game in last year's March Madness tournament. So now they're both not even going to make the CBI unless, of course, Maryland goes on a huge run here. I mean, you know, we'll see. But, yeah, it's kind of sad. Maryland actually went to the Sweet 16. Oregon, I think, was a round of 32 team. Pitt 24, NC State 21. Let's go, Panthers. Gotcha. So, yeah, Iowa is considered, you know, they should be in. But, you know, obviously you'd want to get at least this win, right, to kind of secure it. But apparently they're projected to be with a 9 seed, apparently. Yeah, all that stuff, yeah. He played with the Braves, gotcha. You know, he played on a lot of teams, apparently. I thought he played with the Cubs a lot longer. Mannion at the line does miss his first. Mannion is a 66% free throw shooter. Do you see the ending? I did not. Did not see the ending there. But, hey, maybe Pitt can, get a few rounds, as there's the second. That one's in and out. Didn't get either. Rebounded there by Adams. Again, Maryland leading 11-10. 10:37 left to go in the first. Maryland going right to left. Iowa left to right. Adams finding this is Del Pino. Del Pino kicks it to Watts for 3. That is good. Maryland extending their lead by 3, of course. Well, by 3, but now it's 4. 14-10. 8-0 run the last minute and 30 seconds. Vulgaris handing it off here to Sage. Sage finding Sturts. Sturts with it. Working his way inside. Back to Sage, pardon me. Sage to Vulgaris. Vulgaris looking. Howard in the corner. Howard looking around. Spinning around. Howard finding Sturts. Sturts cutting inside. And looking, mid-range jumper, too strong. Rebounded there by Manuel. Manuel backs to Sage for 3. That's too short. Rebounded by Maryland. Metcalf hands it off to Adams. Again, Maryland leading 14-10 as Adams driving inside. Pump fakes, puts it up. Gets the friendly roll. That was just chilling on the rim. 16-10. Here is Sturts. Sturts with it again, going left to right, finding Vulgaris. Vulgaris to Howard. Howard to Sturts. Sturts looking around, finding Sage to Manuel. Manuel back to Sturts. Sturts with it. He just jacks up a 3, in and out. Rebounded by Maryland. Iowa's really struggled here. As Maryland again up 16-10. Adams looking for more. Adams floating it in to Metcalf, who gets the easy bucket, 18-10. And Iowa's taking a timeout. 18-10, Maryland leading over Iowa. Again, Maryland did beat Iowa earlier this season, 77-70, so maybe Maryland just has their number again. You look at the records you can see in the poll. By the way, folks, let me know who you have winning today. Looks like 76% of you guys with Iowa. And, of course, as you can see, Iowa with a 20-11 record. Maryland 12-20. Of course, they finished the season 11-20, beating Oregon yesterday in the first round of the Big Ten. So an 8-win difference. And yet, of course, again, Maryland over Iowa. So maybe Maryland just has the recipe to beat Iowa. Who knows? Just in Maryland is the students usually rub the head of the Testudo turtle statue in front of the basketball stadium for good luck. I usually don't do that as I'm not superstitious. Gotcha. As long as Pitt doesn't have to top the 4 to 5. Yeah, they gotta. Yeah, they're not gonna do it. I think Iowa will pull away in the last 10 minutes, second half, and win this one. Oh, really? By 10 plus? I don't know. Iowa needs something here. Here is Howard. They got to get something. A 12-0 run the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds for Maryland. Oh, bad pass taken away by Del Pino. Del Pino hands it off to Adams. Adams with it beyond the arc. He kicks it out to Watts for 3, and he gets it. Maryland just putting up points at will in the last few minutes. Looking like a football score, folks. 21-10. Iowa, the pass almost going out of bounds. Manuel with it. Manuel to Combs. Combs looking around in the lane. Floater too strong. Oh, well, it gets the friendly roll. Wow. I mean, I thought that was bouncing out, but again, just bounced everywhere and eventually fell through. 12-21. 21-12. That's more appropriate. Del Pino with it. Del Pino looking around. He's at the point. Hands it off to Adams on the far side. Again, going right to left. Adams looking around, finding Watts. Watts, another 3. That one off the mark. Rebounded there by Combs. Combs looking to get this team rallied. Again, he was off the court the last few minutes. Combs with it beyond the arc. Combs driving in. Almost losing the ball, but then almost a bad pass. Finding Koch. Koch to Manuel. Manuel to Howard. Howard back to Manuel. Manuel floating it over, and that's out of bounds. A wild throw leads, of course, to another turnover. Iowa seems to be better than a better team record-wise, but Maryland has beaten them in the regular season. Yeah, it could go that way again. We'll see. Again, it's still very early, but if you're an Iowa fan, you got to be concerned. Again, Maryland already beats Iowa, and you're already down. So it's like, looks like we're cutting the commercial. Okay, so 7:29 left to go in the first. Maryland leading Iowa in a shocker here. Unbelievable. Bad teams always come out of nowhere in these tournaments to steal bids, but it won't be Maryland. Okay. Well, hey, man, you never know. The next opponent, the winner of this game, will play Ohio State, who is not the best team in the world. I think Pitt even beat Ohio State. So if Pitt can beat Ohio State, then really anybody can. However, Pitt right now, they are up over NC State 34-25. Pitt may be making a run. They're 13-19, by the way. They're terrible. Just a joke. Let's see here. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but LaSalle is losing to St. Bonaventure. I don't know. 48-33. That's at the half. That's the Atlantic 10 first round. And I want to say that's it. I don't think there's anything else happening. Yeah, there's nothing else happening at the moment. Kind of early. Kind of an early day. All day for me, pretty much. 3 games. Of course, it's not like the NFL where you're on all day from football Sundays 12 to like 10:30, and then college it's like 11. It just depends on college days, right? Do you want to take a break in the middle of the day and then cover the late night games on the West Coast, which that's always fun. Stanford is a joke in the ACC and was for. Yeah, I completely agree. Stanford, yeah, it's just weird. It's, with Cal and all that. Go Pittsburgh. Yeah, right. We need it. I don't know if it'll happen, though. But, yeah, Thomas, I agree. And Ricky, yeah, Stanford, the ACC, it's just wacky. It's weird. Folks, again, if you do like what you're listening to, make sure, again, to leave a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Going to be covering more games today. Going to be covering Providence and Butler. That's going to be happening at 4 Eastern, right? I hope. I don't remember. Let me look. Yeah, 4 Eastern, and then I'm going to come back 3 hours later for the Patriot League final, the championship, Boston versus Lehigh. That'll be the final game. But yeah, again, if you're a sports fan, folks, make sure again to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. All you're going to get is more high-quality play-by-play. Again, this is a growing channel. Can actually confirm, if you've heard of the channel Football Nation, I actually have more subscribers than him in his first year. I'm just saying, hey, this channel is on pace to be a great channel. We just got to keep it going. And evolve. Adams with it, going far right to left, kicks it out to Del Pino for 3. That's in and out. Rebounded there by Sturts. Sturts with it again, down by 9. 7:10 to go here in the first. Starts with it at the logo again, going left to right. Philly hoops are strong except for Nova. Yeah, Villanova's always good. Usually. Starts with it. Finding Koch, back to Sturts. 10 left to shoot, under 7 to play. In the first, of course. Sturts kind of just chilling. Sturts now driving inside the lane. Kicks it out here in the corner. 2 to shoot. Combs just desperation. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Manuel. Puts it up. Can't get the bucket. And Maryland finally winning the rebound away. This is Washington. Del Pino to Watts. Watts for 3. That's going to be too strong, but a foul by somebody. And I desperately need water right now. So give me a sec. Jeez. Jeez. Probably hearing it there. That was rough. Something got caught in my throat. I don't know what it was. Regardless, that was a foul on Manuel, so the ball will remain with Maryland. Got 3 bottles of water remaining here. I need to go to the store. Jeez. Adams with it. Maybe I'm not going to surpass anybody with this stuff. Watts with it. Driving in. Spinning around. Watts kicks it out. Del Pino for 3. That's too strong. Rebounded by Adams, who called a timeout. Now they're going to say there was a foul on Del Pino during that whole thing. I don't know how. Wasn't he I thought he was the one that shot. I don't even know how. Anyway, it's whatever. That's what they're saying on ESPN. Iowa ball 21-12. I cannot speak right now. Again, 2 points in the last 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Banks with it on the far side. Banks to Maniau. Maniau, pardon me. Bouncing it around, finding Combs. Combs with on the near side. Back to Banks. Banks to Sturts. At the logo, driving in slowly, kicks it to Combs. Combs floater, gets it. 21-14. A football score, folks. 6 minutes to play here in the first. Again, Maryland has looked pretty good. Iowa maybe, though, slowly coming back. Adams looking around, finding Washington. Washington to Mills. Mills with it back to Adams. Adams floats it in to Metcalf. Metcalf looking around. Hands it off to Mills. Mills with it, driving in, spinning in. Kicks it out to Washington, who's driving in, spinning around. Mid-range floater. That one's going to be out of bounds. Off of Iowa. Missed the shot, deflecting off an Iowa player. Let's go, Maryland. Please don't blow this. We'll see, Duke. Appreciate you for tuning in. Maryland again over Iowa 77-70 in the regular season matchup. So maybe Maryland has that. Maybe they just have their number. You know, it was like the Steelers and the Jaguars for many years there. Kind of still the place. Bad pass! And, well, now they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Mills. Pass inbounding. He passed it to the wrong team. I don't know if he thought he was a Hawkeye or not, but no, he's indeed a Terrapin. But not for that play. But Mills with the foul. 5:31 left to go. Iowa again trailing by 7. Combs to Sturts. Sturts with it on the far side. Back to Combs. Combs with it. Looking around. Finds Maniau. Maniau to Koch. Koch looking around. Back into Combs. Combs floats it to Koch. Koch with it again to Sturts. Sturts at the logo. Sturts looking around. Thinking about driving in. He may. No. Step back 3. That's going to be off. And rebounded there by Metcalf. Metcalf handing it to Mills. Mills with it again, going right to left. 5 to play here in the first. Maryland has 0 points in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Iowa's kind of, again, they've put up a few points, but not too much during that time. Adams with it down the near side, trying to find something. Again, going right to left. He's still beyond the arc. Adams pulls up a 3 off the backboard and does indeed find it. 24-14, tacking on a field goal. 10-point game. Sturts to Banks. Banks with it. Banks to Combs. Combs to Maniau. Maniau back to Combs. Combs thought about the 3. Passes inside to Maniau. Maniau puts it up and gets the basket. 24-16. 4:12 to play. That's the Pittsburgh area code. Here in the first. Again, Maryland leading 24-16. Mills to Metcalf. Metcalf trying to find a teammate. Finds one in Adams. Adams finding Mills on the near side. Kicks up a 3. That's going to be short. Rebounded there by Combs. Combs with it going left to right. Finding Koch. Koch looking around back to Combs. Combs on the far side. Looking around to Sturts. Sturts with it at the logo. Sturts looking around. Double covered. Finding Combs. Combs driving inside. Spinning around. Half step. Mid-range jumper. That's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by Washington. Washington to Mills. Again, Maryland 24, Iowa 16, 3:30 to play. Mills driving the lane. Puts it up. Doesn't get the basket. Rebounded there by Koch. Koch running down the side and is going to put it up and get the layup. 24-18. I don't know why I'm struggling right now, but it is what it is. I did just wake up in my defense. Anyway, 6-point game. Maryland leading. Adams with it on the far side to Metcalf. Metcalf with it. Metcalf back to Mills. Mills for 3. That's going to be too strong. Rebounded there by Sturts. Sturts with it. Down the near side again, going left to right. Sturts to Banks. Banks going to go ahead and drive inside off the glass. Gets the basket. Mills looking for the foul. No foul was given. 24-20. Iowa slowly but surely coming back. Here is Mills. Mills going to go ahead and call a timeout with 2:33 left to go in the first half. Again, it was not looking good earlier. Maryland at one point was up by 11. Now they're only up 4. Let's see. The Steelers have the Ravens numbers 20-25. That is true. They're playing on neutral court. I like them just on that alone. Gotcha. That's fair. But right now, I don't know. We'll see. Again, that's why you play the whole 40 minutes. Didn't even think Mike Tomlin give it. Iowa's pregame talk, maybe. Duke was liking it. Now he's not. Iowa football and basketball having a hard time scoring. Yeah. Iowa. Hey, Iowa honestly wasn't bad. Again, if there was no SEC bias, again, sorry, Ricky. I definitely believe there was. I mean, Iowa, they had some quality. If you want to talk about who you played and all that, Iowa really played everybody tough. I mean, they were really good. I mean, they barely lost, I think, to Oregon and Indiana. I mean, those were, man, I had like by a toe or something like that. It was crazy stuff. Man, I'm ready for football. I love football. I really do. Sick call. Yeah. That is tough. Again, 24-20. Maryland leading by Iowa. Or by Iowa. It's by 4. Again, sorry. Still waking up. But I'll wake up there for the second half for sure. I apologize. Definitely not on it today. Not to begin the day anyway. We're working on it though. Maryland just beat Oregon. Yeah. No, Maryland won their first round against Oregon. Again, both teams were actually in the March Madness tournament last year, and definitely just I don't know if they were a victim of NIL or whatnot, but they definitely took it hard this year. But hey, man, if Maryland can just go on this run, then they're back in. They'll be your Big Ten champion, going 4-16 in the Big Ten in the regular season. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? But Iowa, of course, closing the gap. Again, Maryland was up by 11. And again, if you do like what you're listening to, well, I'm sorry. Make sure, again, to leave a like and definitely subscribe to the channel. Helps out the channel. Again, kind of struggling right now, but hey, we will get it back at full strength soon. And, of course, again, I cover a lot of football. Football is really where I shine, folks. That is where this channel has the most success, and where I do as well. So make sure, again, to subscribe. Again, we do a lot of NFL, not just Steelers. I promise you, we cover everybody. We covered everybody at least once last year. So don't think it's just a Steelers channel. The proof is in the pudding. But also, again, feel free to check it out for college football as well. College football, NFL, going to do a lot of MLB. And, of course, again, lots of March Madness. All right, Maryland up again by 4. Saunders to Metcalf. Metcalf back to Coit. Coit with it at the logo again with just over 2 minutes to go. 2:25 to be exact. Finding Delpino back to Coit. Coit going to drive in. Stepping back. Wow, that was clearly a travel. It is what it is. Delpino for 3. That's going to be off. Rebounded there by Saunders. Saunders with it underneath the basket. Puts it up. Gets the foul. Doesn't get the bucket. Wow, I mean, that was a crazy travel, not called. Saunders going to go to the line. He's a 79% free throw shooter, so not too bad at the line. Iowa football having trouble scoring, yeah. Definitely not the best offense, but hey, they have a great defense. As there is the first. That one is good. .212 left to go here in the first. Again, Maryland up by 5. Maryland, though, was up by 11 earlier. Iowa slowly chipping away at the lead. Can they do that for the remainder of these 2 minutes? As there's the second, and that one is good as well. 26-20 is your score. Here is Sturts. Sturts with it again, going left to right on the far side beyond the arc, finding Howard. Howard with it. He's now at the point. Howard going to drive it in. Kicks it out to Koch. Koch to Sturts. Sturts with it again. 153 and counting. Sturts coming to the near side again, going left to right. Kicks it out to Howard. Howard to Banks. Banks driving in. Puts it up and gets the bucket. 26-22. 4-point game. Back to a 4-point game. 136 and counting. Here is Coit. Coit crossing half court. Looking to Saunders for a deep 3. That's going to be short. Rebounded, though, by Saunders. Saunders with it. Finding Delpino. Delpino for 3. That's short. Rebounded by Howard. Howard to Sturts. Iowa with a chance to make it a one-bucket game. Koch to Banks to Fulgaris to Howard for three, gets it, it's a 1-point game. 26-25 with 1 minute to go. An 11-2 run for Iowa in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Here is Coit to Saunders back to Coit. Coit asking for some help. Metcalf setting a little pick there. Coit to Saunders to Washington driving in, hands it off to Metcalf, it's stolen away by Howard, now it's on the ground, Washington steals it back, kicks it out to Saunders 2 to shoot, puts it up, offensive foul. Maryland was up by 11, but Iowa will have a chance to take the lead with 34 seconds left to go in the first half. Duke not liking it. Maryland is so bad. Missed shot after shot. They have struggled here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Yep. Can't hold the lead. They could not. Well, I guess they still have it, Ark. But yeah, it's not looking good if you're a Maryland fan or sports bettor or alumni, whatever the case may be. Again, appreciate you, Ark, for tuning in. 26-25, Maryland with the lead. Looks like we have some subs. People checking in and out here. Starts with it. 32 seconds. Again, about a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Starts with it at the logo. Going to chill out. Now he's going to make it. Well, no, he's not. He was faking his move. Still at the logo. 13 to shoot. Starts still chilling. Calling a play. Fulgaris on the move. Starts driving in. Starts kicks it out to Koch for three. That's in and out. Rebounded there by Maryland. 3 seconds. Finding Adams. 1 second. Adams puts it up from downtown. That's off the top of the backboard. That is how your first half ends. 26-25. Maryland with a 1-point lead. Honestly, considering how this first half started, not bad. Not a bad game, because it actually was very bad. It was no one was making anything. And, of course, Maryland was the one pulling away, but Iowa making it a game here late. For those of you that don't believe me, there you go. There's the score there on ESPN. We'll go over the stats. So I know you guys like stats. Washington, I like stats, so it's not just you guys, really. This is more for me, to be honest with you, but faking it like it's for you. Washington with 3 points, 9 rebounds. He's been very impressive on the board. Saunders with 2 points, 2 rebounds. Metcalf, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Mills with 1 point, no rebounds. You're wondering, well, where are the points? Well, they're off the bench. Adams, 9 points off the bench, and the same with Watts. So the bench really doing a great job for Maryland. As far as Iowa, Manyaw with 3 points, 3 rebounds. Koch with 5 points, 1 rebound. Starts with 4 points and 2 rebounds. Banks, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Combs, 4 points, 2 rebounds. And Howard, 5 points, 2 rebounds. Iowa shooting 41% from the field. Maryland with 38% from 3. Again, both teams struggling. Maryland, 27%. Iowa with 20. Free throw line, Iowa 1 for 4. Maryland 4 for 6. Maryland with 18 rebounds. Iowa with 13. So, I mean, we kind of talked about that Maryland will out-rebound. Maybe that's why, again, Maryland won the first matchup. Because, again, Iowa averages more points a game. They allow less points per game, but they lost against Maryland. Probably rebounds were the issue. Potentially. I don't know. But it's looking like it right now. Let's see here. And that's why Maryland is a sub-500 team. Yep. Ugly first half. Yeah, got good at the end, but yeah, for the most part, wasn't the best. Keep the scoring going. We'll see. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure, again, to leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Lay. Again, this is what I do, folks. I call games. So, again, if you're a college basketball fan, again, an NFL fan, not just a Steeler fan. Again, I do other games. I do everybody. Again, I covered everybody at least once. And, of course, MLB fans. So make sure, again, to subscribe. We got a long MLB season. But, of course, football is king. So, yeah. NC State has actually taken the lead against Pitt 43-40. Look at that. St. Bonaventure, again, not too sure how to pronounce that. They lead over LaSalle, 58-37. Iowa State, they are taking on Arizona State, 15-6. Iowa State leading. Kentucky leading LSU, 18-17. Is Kentucky a fringe bubble team, or are they actually in? They're 19-12. If LSU were to beat them, like, how would that look? That would not be good, I don't think. I don't know. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Feel free, of course, to chat down below. Again, we're pretty much in halftime. I mean, we are in halftime, so feel free to chat. Again, I do try to get to the chat as often as I can. The chat will forever and always be a big part of the channel, so don't hesitate to chat down below. Yeah, talk about the game. Talk about whatever you like. I really do. Again, try to... interact with you guys. You guys, again, are like 99% of you guys are great. So I really do appreciate you guys. That's cool. Apparently, Iowa has their own radio network. I imagine most schools do that, but like, I'm not like I guess they have their like student announcers call the games. If I had to guess, I don't know. That's my guess. That's my guess. Let's see here. Iowa's 10-10 in conference play during the regular season. Not spectacular, but much better than Maryland. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, that definitely it's a little bit different. And Iowa, again, most likely going to make it. But, of course, a loss here would kind of, I mean, you still think they would make it in, like, get an 11 or something like that, right? But yeah, they definitely, a win would definitely kind of put them in 21 wins. Of course, again, make sure if you haven't already, again, I can go ahead and kind of show you here. Just head to my channel, go to posts, and then you'll see that we have, again, some a fantasy. Again, fill out your bracket pretty much. Just fill out your bracket on there, or, you can't do that yet. But sign up, and you'll be able to compete against me in March Madness. So, again, just a little thing for the channel. Think it would be pretty fun. But go to the post, click the link. All you have to have is an ESPN account. It's free to do if you don't have one. And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Again, last year I did correctly pick Florida to win, though, again, everywhere else that was pretty much a mess. But, yeah, it should be pretty fun. I believe Maryland would be even better off if they started in the ACC. If they started in the ACC, were they in, I guess, the Big East? I can't remember, honestly. I don't recall. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if I actually remember them being in the Big East for me when I started watching stuff. But, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. If they were in the ACC, they probably would do all right. Or were they always in the Big Ten? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Maryland got it, you think? Yeah, we'll see. Maryland, again, was up by 11. But they, I don't know. They kind of have struggled as of late. Wish they had a historical members thing. I'm not seeing nothing. So I guess they're just always in the Big Ten. I guess I don't recall. Maryland started the AC. Okay, they do. Okay, they did. Gotcha. Money talks. It does. It does, definitely. Again, folks, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play Again, trying to build this channel, of course. As, again, it'd be nice to get to 6,900. We are 40 subscribers away from that. If everyone were to subscribe right now, we'd hit 6,900, folks. Make sure to do that. Again, this is an up-and-coming sports channel. We'll be very big in a few years. But obviously, it takes a while to build up. And, of course, when you're just tuning in, it's like, oh, it's a small channel. I don't want to subscribe. I totally understand. I get it. But, yeah, just finishing year 1 and looking forward to a very exciting year 2. And we're pretty much kicking off year 2 with a lot of March Madness. And, of course, again, baseball will be a lot of it. Now, as a student in Maryland, we like to talk about the rivalry with Duke, although in my perspective, the rivalry was one-sided with the exception of the early 2000s. Really? Okay. I guess I didn't really realize about the rivalry of, like, there even was one. When I think of Duke, I think of, like, like Connecticut, UConn. Duke and UConn, or Duke and North Carolina. Well, I think that one really comes to mind first, but actually, I guess UConn came up to mind, but Duke and North Carolina. If LSU beats Kentucky, then they make the NCAA. They should have to play in one of the play-in games. Oh, probably. Yeah, if LSU makes... Yeah, LSU's not that great. They're 15-16, so... Yeah, if they make it in, I mean, they have to be a play-in. I don't know. I wouldn't put LSU in. They're 3-15 in the SEC. I mean, that's... Or are you talking about Kentucky? Are you talking about Kentucky? We can't compare to Duke, but Maryland was a national champion 2002 years before. I studied there, had some good years 2000. Gotcha. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Yeah, my earliest memories of college basketball are pretty much like the late 2000s when Pitt was really good. The tournament that I remember the most for Pitt, when they made it to the Elite Eight, it was 08 or 09. They lost to Villanova. They were a 1 seed that year. The Big East, man. Hold on. See if I can pull this year up, man. You guys will be shocked at how good these guys were. Look at this. Look at my beloved Big East. Pitt 31-5, Connecticut 31-5, Villanova 30-8, Louisville 31-6. And Marquette was good. Syracuse, man, and 7 teams in the NCAA tournament. Pitt at one point was ranked 1. Wild stuff. Yeah, Pitt, I think, ended up losing to... I don't know if it'll provide the schedule. You think it would, right? What the heck? Why doesn't it provide the schedule? I guess I got to click a separate thing for that. Yeah, losing in the Final Four to Villanova. Or not Final Four, the Elite Eight. 76-78. Losing to a Big East school, who they actually lost to in the regular season. Did they play them twice? No, they just played them that one time. Wow. Yep, they were good. They were good back then. Pitt. Oh well. Maybe one day, right? They just need to go back to the Big East for basketball only, and maybe they can reclaim their prestige. Right now, Pitt is down at the half, 51-50 to NC State. Kentucky again up 25-19 over LSU. Iowa State leading 22-10 over Arizona State. And then St. Bonaventure leading 69-47 over LaSalle. Again, I'm not too sure. I don't really pronounce that. Duke's next rival is, North Carolina, yeah. I should have thought of them first. For some reason, I didn't. Still can't believe USA lost to Italy. Yeah, really disappointing, DJ. I mean, just disappointing. That's what it is, man. when you think you got it, when you're just big-headed for some reason, don't know why. Baseball is so random. If you're not on it, you will lose. I mean, that's with anything, right? But I guarantee you they were big-headed. Which, honestly, they were winning by a lot of runs, but I don't think it was as dominant as we kind of expected the USA to be. I don't know. There's something about it that told me that they weren't 100%, or they weren't really looking as good as I thought they would. And, well, now they are in the... Now they got to just watch. They'll be spectating like everybody else. Except me. I will not be watching that game. I will be covering another game. I actually have no idea when that game is, to be honest with you. It's like 7 o'clock tonight, 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be covering a basketball game at that time. 6 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be doing the Patriot League final. That should be pretty fun. Boston and Lehigh. That'll be pretty fun, I think. I think that'll be a good game. Covered Boston already. I remember Defty the Hefty, Hefty the Defty. Hughes, Gladly making shots. Air McNair, look at that. Tissinger. And Boston has some players for sure, but Lehigh, I should say, they might be all right. Looks like we got 5 minutes to go until we get back into action, folks, if you're wondering. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out with me during halftime. Again, just kind of chilling. Feel free, again, to chat down below. Again, I'm a football guy. Feel free to talk about football. Again, if you're a Maryland, also a Raven fan, I'm sure you're stoked about all the Raven stuff. Keeping your first-round picks. Who needs to win for Team USA? So Italy would guarantee it. If Italy wins, then the USA are in because Mexico would have 2 losses. If Mexico wins, they have to score like at least 5 runs or something like that because it goes off. The tiebreaker, I think, is like defensive runs allowed. So the Mexico would have to score a lot of, like, just more runs than usual. Like I said, it's a weird thing. What in the world? Just looking at all this stuff here on Twitter. Bunch of crazy stuff. Oh, apparently someone scored 83 points last in an NBA game. He had like 40-something free throws. Talk about terrible. Why is the NBA unwatchable? Well, there you go. I don't even know the whole story, but that just sounds bad and just in general. The safer bet is Italy win, and Italy win by any margin qualifies USA. Yeah, that's the most pretty much. If Italy wins, it's guaranteed. If Mexico wins, they have to score a lot of runs. So yeah, plenty of. There's some. Yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, if the UK loses LSU, UK should have to play in one of the play-in games. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I don't think LSU is like, they went 3-16 in their conference. They're just not good. Apparently, NFL's exploring playing a game on Thanksgiving Eve. Can you believe that? Yeah. Unpopular opinion. I want as much NFL football to be played on Sundays as possible. Tired of the new trend where every day is a game day. I mean, I kind of agree. I love football, man, but what makes it so special is the prestige of the Sunday, right? Obviously, we love our Monday night football. We've grown accustomed to Thursday night football. I'm definitely okay with that. Again, not a great product most of the time. And you can't blame the players. I mean, they just played a freaking game on Sunday. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I don't know. That's ridiculous. I don't know. I think too much. I mean, we already have Black Friday that week, so we have 3 games on Thursday, which is cool. Great. Thanksgiving football is understood, right? But then there's Black Friday. Like, okay, whatever. A Wednesday game? Like, what are you doing? I guess that those guys would have to be on a bye the previous week because it's ridiculous, man. So dumb. Oof, Bonsner. I'm actually not following there, but appreciate you, though, Shaman, for coming back. Appreciate you, man. If you were that a program like Kentucky playing to play in, yeah, right? Baseball can fall anyway. Baseball's not. Yeah, no, for sure. Baseball is so wild. Again, you never know. Like, again, the Dodgers, again, the best team last year with all the star players. They only won like 94 games. I mean, that's good. It's a great record, right? But they were like the 3 seed. So, they weren't even the best team in there as far as regular season. You missed the NFL 16 game. Yeah, I mean, I wished 16 games was perfect. We're back underway. Just cutting to the game like that, apparently. Here is Maryland. This is Coit. Coit with it. Step back. 3. That's going to be rebounded there by Maryland as he missed. Going to be on the ground now, stripped away. Washington with it. Washington here for Maryland. Finding Saunders. Saunders to Mills. Mills for 3. And that one's good. All right, let me go ahead and change all this stuff here. Didn't think we'd be cutting back like that. Just randomly saying we're back in action. All right, 29-25. Here is Sturts. Sturts to Maniau. Maniau with it behind the arc. Hands it off to Combs. Combs with it. Looking around, coming to the near side, kicks it out to Sturts. Pump fakes the 3, then shoots a 3. That one's too strong. Rebounded by Maryland as Saunders hands it off to Mills. Mills with it. Crossing half court, hands it off to Washington. Washington looking around. Back to Mills at the logo. Again, 19 left to play. Maryland up by 4. Mills with it. Going left to right. Back to Coit. Coit now at the logo. Driving in. Now stepping back. Kicks it out to Saunders. Saunders with it as he's driving in. Mid-range jumper. Too short. Rebounded by Koch. Score prediction. I don't know, like 67, 63. I don't know. Nothing really crazy, I don't think. Starts to Maniau. Maniau look around to Combs. Combs cutting inside to Maniau. Maniau slamming it in. I don't know, man. This game's been kind of weird. It's been kind of weird. Maryland with it on the near side. Again, going left to right. This is Mills. Mills to Coit. Coit with it. Looking around, driving in the lane, puts it up and floats it in. No problem for Coit. For some reason, ESPN is frozen, but luckily, keeping score on the screen. 31-27, this is Sturts. Sturts here to Banks. Banks to Maniau. Maniau looking around, hands it off to Sturts. Sturts with it again beyond the arc. Cutting inside, passes to Maniau, puts up the bucket, gets the foul. He will head to the line for a couple of shots. Or no, pardon me. One shot. Again, a chance to complete the 3-point play. Maniau is a 66% free throw shooter. You were like number 26. Oh, you were like number 26. Booth for 26. Gotcha. I'm not familiar with Booth, but appreciate you, man. Yeah, I do the same thing. Like number 8 would be, I guess Aaron Rodgers at this point. But Maniau does make the next one. 30 points for Iowa. 31-30, Maryland leading. As here's Mills. Mills with it on the near side again, going left to right. Finding Coit at the logo. Coit looking around. Finding Saunders. Saunders for 3. That's no problem for Saunders. A deep 3 drains it. 34-30 is your score. Here is Sturts. Sturts with it on the far side. Starts looking around. Hands it off to Maniau. Maniau to Koch. Koch for 3. That one's good. Answers back with a 3 of his own. Maybe we see a little bit more scoring here. I don't know. Maybe the score prediction was indeed a little bit low. Maybe we do hit the 70s after all. As Mills with it on the near side. Finding Coit. Coit with it on the far side. Kicking it out to Saunders. Saunders back to Coit at the logo. Driving in. Half spin. Hands it off to Mills. Mills now going to chill out at the logo. Mills driving in, spinning around, in the lane. Oh, loses the ball. It's with Iowa. Maniau with it. Maniau to Sturts. Sturts puts it up. It's blocked. and then taken away by Mills. Coit, Saunders, Coit with it, back to Mills, Mills with it, driving the lane, puts up the shot, doesn't get the basket, ball squirting out of, no, saved by Iowa. Good hustle there, Starts with it in the lane, kicks it out to Combs, Combs slows it down, back to Banks, Banks to Starts. Again, 34-33, Maryland leading, 16-12, Starts back out to Koch, Koch for three, he gets it, Koch heating up. Iowa leading 36-34, I believe it's the first lead since like the early first half. Man, oh man. Yeah, since 10:39 left to go in the first, apparently was the last lead as Mills jacks up a three. And that is in and out. Rebounded by Washington. Washington can't get it. Rebounded by Iowa. Starts now racing down. Starts with it. Driving inside. Kicks it out to Banks for three. That's in and out. Rebounded by, well, it goes out of bounds. Last touch by, I don't know. The last touch, I guess, by Maryland. I have no idea. The referee pointed this way, then this way. So he was actually as lost as everybody. Rookie, if Italy wins, USA advances. Mexico wins by 5+. USA advances. Gotcha. Game started back. Yes, it did. How's it going, Sean? Good to see you. Looks like we are going to commercial break. Iowa 36, Maryland 34. Again, commercial break with 15:29 to go here in the second half. Yeah, good to see you, Sean. Thank you again for tuning in. Kentucky better get a new coach. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good for Kentucky. It's kind of weird to see them only with 19 wins at this point. All right, some scores from across the nation. NC State leading 51-50 over Pittsburgh. St. Bonaventure, again, I actually have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm going to say that every time, by the way. They lead LaSalle 82-59. Arizona State 29. No, pardon me. Iowa State 29. Arizona State 10. Kentucky leading LSU 39-34. And that is all we have for this one. Great to be back. Well, good to have you back. Glad to have you back. Again, I know usually, in a few weeks, it'll be more so baseball during the day, especially on a Wednesday. Right now, I'll be covering the Pirates as they're already down 3-0 to somebody. That's how it's going to be. Over 122.5. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd agree with that. I think we'll see more scoring here. It looks like we already kind of seeing that. Iowa with 11 points already. Iowa only put up 25 in the low scoring first half, 26-25. But I think think they're starting to heat up both sides. They're really starting to make their shots. Appreciate you, Tron. Again, folks, if you do like what you're listening to, make sure again to like and subscribe. If everyone were to subscribe right now, we would hit 6,900 subscribers. 6,900 would be pretty great to do that. Again, doing a lot of games today. Well, really 3. I guess that's a lot, but not the most I've done. I've done 4 football games. That is rough. Wake up for the Europe games and all the way to Sunday Night Football. That was rough. I don't know if I do that again. We'll see. I'd like to do it, though. We'll give it, again, another shot next year. 4 games, but I think I might just stick with 3. But I might do a 4 if there's a really good one. Arizona State is saying to me they are not looking good right now, but Iowa State really good as well. So that kind of explains that. All right, we're back, and again, Iowa going to be inbounding here, again, going right to left. Starts with it with 15:26 left to go here in the second half. A 6-0 run in the last 2 minutes has given them the lead. Starts with it on the far side. Back to Koch. Koch looking around. Koch going to go in, draws the foul. Foul there on Turkson. Turkson checking in the game. Haven't called his name yet. Are you doing IU? Which one is that? Are you talking about Indiana? No, the only games I'm doing today are going to be Providence, Butler, and then Boston and Lehigh, as that's a final. As that's going to be knocked out of bounds. I believe it's going to stay with Iowa. Appreciate you, though, Jeffrey. yeah, no, not going to be doing, yeah, just those 3 today. We'll see about, again, I don't know about tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Is inbounding here. Iowa with it. Manial beyond the arc. Hands it off to Combs. Combs with it. Floats it to Manial. Manial underneath. Falls down. Hands it off to Banks. Banks tosses it out before he goes out of bounds. Sturts just jacks it up. Oh, and he gets it. Running out of time. I mean, he just had to put it up. Draining it. 39-34. Iowa up by 5. 9-0 run the last 2.5 minutes. Here is Saunders. Saunders with it. Hands it to Watts. Watts to Adams. Adams with it again for Maryland. Down by 5. Maryland looking around. Here is again Adams. Adams driving in. Kicks it out to Washington. And he's going to get called for a travel. And man, Maryland not looking good. Might be falling apart. We'll see, of course, what happens on the ensuing possession for Iowa. But yeah, sorry, Jeffrey, just the 3 games today. Honestly, yeah, again, I'm not too sure when they play, but I'm sure you can find it for free on YouTube, as that's a deep 3 from Sturts. Sturts gets it! Oh, Iowa! They are just on fire. Sturts with 10 points. 14 minutes left to go, as that's a timeout by Maryland. Iowa on a 12-0 run the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Not looking ideal. If you're a Maryland fan or better. But yeah, Jeffrey, you can probably find that one on YouTube. That one will be, for sure, you can watch that one. Yeah, certain networks obviously cannot. That's why I'm doing this one. Peacock usually can't. Peacock bans channels for their games, and CBS Sports Network. And then again, there's other times, right? Again, March Madness, I actually have no idea. I don't remember what they did last year. But like college football playoff, obviously, ESPN is like, they ban all the streams for that. But yeah, so yeah, no, I think they're on the Big Ten. So yeah, you'll be able to watch that one, no problem. You can watch the actual game. All right, again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, Iowa heating up. Starts with 10 points. Koch with 11. I think he's the leading scorer for Iowa. Let me get you the leading scorer for Maryland. It's still Adams and Watts. 9 points apiece there. Again, those guys off the bench. They're doing very well for Maryland, but they have kind of cooled off. Iowa outscoring Maryland 17-8 here in the second half. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure, again, to leave a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel to help out this small channel. But, again, we're not going to be a small channel for long, folks. We are definitely on our way up. We are really growing. Again, over 6,000 subs in year 1. That's, like, great. That's like fantastic. So I'm excited for year 2, really am. And hopefully you guys again enjoy what you're listening to. Make sure again to like and subscribe. Again, do a lot of the NFL. Going to do a lot of that. Of course, did a lot last year. Did 3 games every Sunday. Again, not just Steelers games. I promise you, the Steelers don't play 3 games every Sunday. It's just the one. Then there's another game. Then there's the primetime game. So do a lot of coverage. Cover everybody at least once. And, of course, again, do college as well, college football, and a lot of MLB. So if you're an MLB fan, feel free to join me all summer long for that. As we doing a lot. I'm sorry, I missed your comment there, Jaron. Yeah, Steeler gang, you know it. I apologize, man. I tried to get to the chat. Missed your combo. Yeah, you know it. Pretty happy with the move so far. But we got to see how they look on the field, though. That's what really matters. But really happy with Jamil Dean. I think that was an underrated pickup. Really good. He's been solid for Tampa for years now. All right, we're back. Maryland with it. Again, they got to get something going as here's Adams. Adams loses the ball, reclaims it. Adams now driving inside. Hop step. Bounce pass stolen away by Manial. Manial to Sturts. Maryland playing a little more aggressive now. They're going to back off again. Iowa with a 12-0 run the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Here is Combs. Combs to Manial. Manial looking around. Inside to Banks. Banks puts it up. Gets the foul and the buckets. It's a 10-point game. And Iowa may be pulling away. And Maryland was practically leading the entire first half and, of course, the beginning of the second. But Iowa's really turned it up already. Had 19 points here in the second half. Again, they only had 25 the entire first. And, of course, again, they were all just based on how it was looking like Maryland might have just had Iowa's number. Again, they beat Iowa 77-70 in their only matchup in the regular season, as he does indeed make the free throw. But nope, Iowa has just turned the page here in the second, 45-34. This is Adams. Adams with it beyond the arc. He's driving inside, trying to get something going. Adams finding Watts. Watts with it in the near corner. Watts trying to go. Kicks it out to Adams. Adams driving inside. Hop step. Loses the ball. Goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Iowa. All right, Iowa's starting to run here. Yep, they are starting to run away. But still plenty of time. Still plenty of time based on how this game has went. We've seen runs go, well, more so, again, Maryland in the first. They look pretty good. Iowa kind of made it close at the end there. And Iowa's not looked back, but still plenty of time. 13-14 left to go here in the second half. A 15-0 run by Iowa. Can they keep it going? As this is Combs. Combs to Sturts. Sturts with the to Maniel. Maniel back to Combs. Combs to Sturts. Sturts looking around. Beyond the arc. Hands it off to Maniel. Who hands it off back to Sturts. Sturts back to Combs. Back to Sturts. Sturts just passing it around. Sturts with it. Looking in the lane. Hands off to Maniel. Maniel at the buckets. Unbelievable. A 17-0 run. 12:40 to go here in the second. Here's Mills. Mills to Saunders. Saunders looking around. Saunders back to Coit. Coit with it. He's driving in. Floater tipped away. Taken away by Iowa. Starts now with it. Crossing half court. He's going to the lane. Kicks it out to Koch. Koch for three. Unbelievable. Iowa can't miss. 20-0 run the last 5 minutes. Timeout Maryland. I can't. Where did this come from? Iowa already matching their first half total of 25 points in just under 8 minutes here in the second half. Unbelievable. They just came out of nowhere. This offense. I think the Iowa football team has to take notes. 50-34 is your score. 12:14 left to go in the second. Commercial break. Man, now I'm kind of hoping that's a close game. Hopefully Maryland can fight back. I don't know. I'm not a fan of blowouts, of course. I don't think really anyone is, but yeah. Yep. Let's see what we got in the other scores. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Feel free again to chat down below. Try to get to the chat as often as I can. Again, I apologize, Jaron. That's on me. I missed your comment there. NC State 61, Pittsburgh 51. St. Bonaventure up 88-66 on LaSalle. Iowa State blowing out Arizona State 42-12. Unbelievable. Kentucky leading 46-43 over LSU at the half. So that is not ideal for LSU. Again, needs to make a big run to have a chance. I don't even think they will make it if they do. But yeah, now Pittsburgh again down by 10. They were up earlier by 10. You should let us pick what game you call one day. Again, it just depends. Right now I'm kind of focused on channel growth. When it comes to college, yeah, I think I have to pick everything there. Because again, there's like illegal streams, right? So if I were to call an illegal stream, there's no reason for me to do it. It won't grow the channel. It won't do nothing. Now when I'm, big channel, it doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter. I can call whatever I want. Because then it becomes like a watch party. You can watch the game along. But yeah, I'm sure it'll happen, Thomas. Again, I'd like to implement something like that in the future. Because I actually did. So Tom, I don't remember when you subbed, Thomas, and I do apologize. But when I was just first starting this, well, I guess, the beginning of football season, I was really pushing that. Actually, the first few weeks, I did that. The problem was I was kind of a small, I still am small, but I was much smaller. And people were voting. You probably go back and look at the polls. I did it for a few weeks. People were voting on a game, and it was it was pretty much me in here. There were really not many people, just a few people coming. So they vote, and they wouldn't come, and they were picking pretty much the game that everyone else was calling. And of course, that's when I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to do well if I'm calling what, like Grossi and Football Nation, they're all calling the great games. I'm going to call the other games that might not receive a lot of attention. And that sped up the growth of the channel. Anyway, here's Maryland. Maryland with it. This is Mills. Mills driving inside. Hop step. Puts it up. And doesn't get the basket, but it's last touch by Iowa. Going to remain with Maryland. Found you from Conference USA or something. I think it was Middle Tennessee. Gotcha. Yeah, when it comes to college, I pretty much have to make sure I pick it. But NFL, I have no problem with that as much this year. Because football, we had a lot of success. I think people will show up for whatever game. As Coit to Saunders. Saunders to Coit. Coit looking around. Kicks it out to Mills. Mills for three. That's going to be in and out. Maryland can't buy a bucket. Maryland does get the rebound, but it's stolen by Iowa. Banks with it. Drawing the contact. Puts it up. Gets the foul. And that was not Banks. I apologize. That was Combs. And Combs will go to the line for a couple of shots. So Combs is an 84% free throw shooter. How much time left? We got 11:42 left to go. We still got plenty of time. But you definitely, if you're a Maryland fan, you got to be really nervous as Combs actually misses the first. And appreciate your breaks for tuning in. 11:42 left to go. Iowa leading 50-34. Combs makes the second, making it a 17-point game, 51-34. 21-0 run. I mean, this is unbelievable. 21-0 run the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Crazy stuff. Here is Coit. Coit with it at the logo. Just kind of just hanging out. Now Coit going to make his move. Finding Saunders. Saunders to Mills. Mills pump fakes. Driving inside. Hop step. Puts it up and gets the call. Not the bucket. And Mills with a chance to end this 21-0 run that has lasted just under 6 minutes. Mills is a 76% free throw shooter. 21-0 run, it is ridiculous. Maryland can't buy a bucket. Mills with a chance to get a free one. And he does. Finally, the first bucket for Maryland in 6 minutes. Mills with his second. That one's too strong. Poked away. Going to remain with Maryland. This is Washington. Washington to Coit. Coit with it at the logo. Coit looking around. Again, going to the far side. Coit driving in. Hop step. Long two. That one's good. Maybe Maryland finding something. That's their first field goal in 6 minutes. As here's Iowa. This is Combs. Combs with it down the far side. Bounce pass here to Maniau, who hands it off to Sturts. Sturts with it at the logo. Driving in. Back to Maniau. Maniau spinning around. Back to Sturts. Pump fakes. Sturts going to back off. 10:44 left to play. Iowa up by 14. Sturts from the free throw line. In and out. Berger, that is. As here is Mills. Mills to Washington. Washington back to Coit. Coit to Mills. Mills driving in. Looking. Puts it up. Doesn't get the basket. Rebounded by Maryland. Puts it in. 12-point game, 51-39. Good to see you, nephew. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'll get you your comment. I saw it earlier. I'll get to it next commercial break. As here is Sturts. Sturts. Bounce pass here to Combs. Combs to Maniau. Back to Combs. Combs driving inside. Bounce pass to Maniau. Maniau hesitating. Puts it up and is fouled. Doesn't get the bucket, but he'll go to the line for a couple of shots. So let me see. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, no, I saw the, again, I think the Ravens, nephew, I think they completely understood. Like, again, you were here, I think, for that, my reaction of it. They overpaid. And I think they realized they did. As there is the first, they actually misses the first. Maniau, a 66% free throw shooter. So I think they failed him on the physical. I mean, and he just had surgery, so, you know, it's not going to pass anything. Like, I don't know. Yeah, and I even said it too. I think, well, if they backed out of it, it's because they're going to probably say, oh, he failed the physical, and that's exactly what happened. Mannion doesn't make any of them. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Maryland. Washington desperately trying to save the ball, but instead causes a turnover. 10 minutes left to play here. Iowa up by 12. Starts with it again on the baseline. Hands it off to Howard. Howard to Fulgaris. Fulgaris here for Iowa. Hands it off to Sturts. Sturts with it at the logo. On the far side. Again up by 12. 9:50 and counting. Sturts driving in. Looking around. Bounce pass to Howard, who cuts in. Himself floats it up. Gets the buckets. 53-39. Back to a 2-touchdown game. As here is Mills. Mills with it on the near side again, going left to right. Mills beyond the arc. Covered by Howard. Mills going in. Bounce pass inside. It's taken away, but let's take it back by Maryland. Passes back out to Coit. Coit with it. Coit wants to keep the ball. Mills was wanting it. Coit driving in the lane. Puts it up high off the glass and gets the basket. Nice shot. Good stuff by Coit, making this a 12-point game. Here is Iowa. This is Sturts. Sturts going to drive it in. Puts it off the glass and gets the bucket and the foul. Coit can't believe it. Iowa just can't be stopped right now. Already at 30 points here in the second half. Again, they had 25 the entire first. So they have really ramped up the scoring here. Adebayo dropped 83. Yeah, I saw he had like 30 or 40 free throws or something. It was ridiculous. I mean, I don't really know the whole story, but maybe he was legit fouled, but that just sounds ridiculous. Sounds like it's cheap. There's the free throw. He does make it. 56-41. Was his drop coverage caused the explosion from Bam? Oh, wow. Here is Mills. Mills to Washington. Washington to Coit. Ooh, an offensive foul. No call. Washington has his pass intercepted. This is Banks. Banks has it tipped away, and it's going to remain with Iowa. 8:43 left to go. I don't think we're going to commercial break. It's been a while since we had one. I don't think anyone is complaining, though. Sturts was just falling down again. I guess it's karma, as Washington's pass was indeed intercepted. 56-41, 8:43 left to play. Hands it off here to Howard. Howard to Fulgaris. Fulgaris passes to Sturts. Sturts with it at the logo. Sturts to Banks. Banks back to Sturts. Sturts with it. Pulls up a three. In and out. And that's going to go out of bounds. And it'll be Maryland ball with 8:31. I don't think these teams will score 40 points the rest of the game. 40 points? Are you talking about 40 points like combined? I don't know. I think I could see that. They were double teaming and fouling him like crazy, though. Yeah, I think. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. With all the stuff with the rigging and all that, I don't know. It's suspect. I think that's like. I don't know. I don't really know. I have to look more into it. Coit with it at the logo. As Coit going to drive it inside. Gets the call and the baskets. So they will make it 13-point game. Coit, again, a 86% free throw shooter. Not too bad at the line. Pretty darn good, I may add. Combined here for the under. Gotcha. Bam had 83 and the rest of the Heat had 67. That's crazy. He does actually miss his free throw. 13-point game it'll remain. Sturts with it. 8:10 left to go here in the second half. Sturts to Howard. Howard back to Fulgaris. Fulgaris to Sturts. Sturts with it. Hands it to Fulgaris. Fulgaris back out to Howard. Howard to Koch. Koch for three. That's short. Rebounded by Adams. Maryland's got to make their shots here as Mills going to go in. Almost. Oh, man, Mills knew what he did. That's pretty funny. Referee didn't call it. I thought it was like a double dribble pretty much. Coy with it at the logo. Back to Adams. Adams with it. Adams in the lane. Pump fakes. Puts it off the glass. Gets it. 45-56. Maybe not over yet. Maybe. We'll see. Again, Iowa up by 11. 7:23 left to play here in the second half. Starts with it on the far side. Now coming to the near side. Oh, someone lost a shoe. I think it was Sturts. Mills takes the ball. Mills inside to Washington. Puts it up. Gets the basket. What the heck happened? Sturts just lost his shoe. Fell down. And it was stolen. And the ball was stolen away. I don't know what the heck happened there. I'd like to see a replay. 56-47. 9-point game. Not over yet. Free throw shooting is the key, and any team under 70% is going nowhere. They have struggled at the line for sure. Maryland has at the line. I think Maryland's 56% from the line. Iowa actually worse, 45% from the line. Wow. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Man, tire shoes, right? I don't know what happened with Sturts. Lost his shoe, lost the ball as well. Make sure, again, to leave a like and subscribe, folks, for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. This is what I do. I call games. Again, if you do like what you're listening to, make sure to do that. Again, doing a lot of college basketball. Doing another game later, Providence and Butler. Big East action, first round there. And then we'll be doing some, we'll do the Patriot League final tonight. So the winner of that game is going dancing. So that'll be pretty fun. Again, if you do like the NFL, make sure to subscribe. Again, I don't just do the Steelers. I do 3 games every Sunday. 3 games every Saturday. And, of course, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. How's it going? Let's see. I'll call you 14. What you got, 14? Do you think Maryland can cover the 10.5? Man, I don't want to, say yeah, and then you, keep and then lose. I don't want to be the guy that makes your decision. I hope you do that yourself. But I think they can. Maryland might be coming alive here. Again, Iowa was really dominating the second half, but Maryland, last few possessions, looks like they may be locking in, maybe seeing more of the first half version of Maryland. So we'll see. I think they can. Will they? I don't know. Boston versus Lehigh is interesting. Boston hit a buzzer beater. Yep. Yes, I covered that. Boston Navy. That was a crazy game. Crazy finish. Controversial finish. And appreciate you guys. We needed 40 subs earlier. Now we're down to 30 subs to 6,900 subs. Make sure, again, to like and subscribe, folks. Again, if everyone were to subscribe right now, we would hit 6,900. Thank you again for your support, folks. It is free. Look at that. Don't think of it as a subscription. Think of it as a follow. I've already placed. All right, good luck, man. I think they can. Will they, though, is the question. I don't like Maryland. I have Iowa, but the back door's open. Yeah. Do you think they cover 7.5 spread? You're in that one? That's a little bit more difficult there. Again, I think they can. I do. Again, I think these next few minutes are going to tell us a lot, Spades. Appreciate you then. Or I call you Fortnite. Spades, Fortnite, is that what it is? Fortnite? I think there's an alternate reality where I went into Fortnite, but that's not going to happen this one. I haven't played that in a few months. It's been a while. Just play the OG map, and it's not really OG. Anyway, starts with it. He's at the logo. And, it's almost stolen away, and then it's tipped out of bounds. What are they going to say? Referee has not made a call. Maryland ball. Oh, man, Iowa. I don't know. They've had some turnovers. Love your commentary, bro. I'm only betting games you cover now. Oh, man, Tron. Appreciate you, man. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I cover all that much, but today will be a busy day for me. 3 games for me on the docket. As here's Mills. Mills to Adams. Adams with it beyond the arc. He's going to drive in. Hop step, spinning around, looking around back to Mills. Mills with it. Mills jacks up a 3. In and out. Rebounded there by Sturts. Sturts with it. Driving in. Looking around. Kicks it out to Koch. Koch for 3. And he drains it. That's a killer there for Maryland. They really needed that other shot for momentum purposes. Back to a 12-point game as Mills draws the foul. Not a shooting foul. That was on Banks. That was his 3rd. And I don't know if I'm that great there, Tron, but I appreciate you, man. It does take me, when it comes to basketball, it takes me like a good I would say the first 10 minutes of actual game time to get the players down. So I don't want to disappoint you, but I appreciate you, man. It's time to crank it up. Yeah, we'll see. Butler vs. Providence, coin flip. Yeah. Maryland pulling the upset. We'll see there, Kobe Butterworth. Is that the syrup, I think? We'll see. They have to come alive here. 6:29 to play. Again, 12-point game. Iowa leading by... Well, I just said that. I'm an idiot. See, I'm not that great. Mills with it here on the near side. Mills covered by Fulgaris. Mills cutting his way. Looking around. Passes inside to Washington. Washington puts it up. He's fouled. Doesn't get the bucket, but he'll go to the line for a couple of shots. Spades with Terps. Maryland plus 8.5. Sun Devils have 16 points. Yeah, I saw it. Terrible. They are bad. How many fouls does each team have? Maryland with 6. Iowa with 4. So Washington, again, is 66% free throw shooters. Got to make both. He's got to make these. Again, both teams have really struggled here at the line today. Both shooting below 60% at the line. That's just, you can't do that. Washington, he's due 66%. Never mind, he missed it. He missed the first. Again, 6:14 left to go here in the second half. Maryland down by 12. Again, they've practically, they were leading almost the whole game, and then the second half happened. Maryland with the second. That one's too strong. Rebounded by Iowa. Now there's a foul on Maryland. They're going to call it on Watts. Don't know what the specific foul is. But I believe Iowa's on the bonus. It's a 1-on-1. I don't know who the foul or who's going to be shooting here. I'll let you know. Again, I'm okay, Ricky. Appreciate you, though. First matchup was 113-110 in overtime. Yeah, I know. They scored so many points. I did some research. They put up a lot of points. 97-87, 113-110. Fulgaris going to be at the line for the 1-and-1. He's a 72% free throw shooter as Fulgaris gets a talking to from the referee. Not sure what about. Fulgaris again at the line of 1-and-1. And he does get the first. 60-47. At 107 points total. I think someone needed 122. I think we're going to get it. I do. I really do. As Fulgaris with the second. That one is good. 61-47. 14-point game. Here is Adams. Adams crossing half courts. Looking around as Adams going to drive inside. Spinning around. Half spin, really. He floats it back to Mills. Mills going to cut inside. Mid-range jumper. That one's too strong. Rebounded by Washington. Washington with it. Here for Maryland. He kicks it back out there to Mills. Mills looking around. As Mills driving in. Hop step. Puts it up. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but gets the tip in by Saunders. Or probably it was Metcalf. Metcalf doing pretty good here. 61-49. 12-point game. Sturts with it. 5:30 left to go in the second half. Sturts looking for somebody. Finding Banks. Banks to Koch. Koch back to Sturts. 12 left to shoot as Sturts drives in. Kicks it out. It's tipped away. Tipped out of bounds by Watts. With 5:19 left to go. Yeah, it's Tron. 122. Yeah, you should be good. I think you're going to be good, Tron. Hopefully it's not the announcer's jinx, but I think you're going to be good. Looks like we have some subs. Metcalf and Mills going to be checking out there for Maryland. As here is Banks with the ball for Iowa. Banks for 3, and he gets it. 64-49. That's 113 points, by the way. As here is Coit. Coit with it at the logo. A 15-point game. Going to be pretty hard for Maryland to come back from this. Is it going to be super easy, though, and barely an inconvenience? I don't know. As here's Coit. Coit going to drive in. Kicks it out for 3, and he answers back with a 3 of his own. 64-52. 12-point game. Here is Howard. Howard with it for Iowa. Howard with it at the logo. Finding Banks. Banks looking around. Banks double team. Tipped away. Stolen by Maryland. Here is Adams. Adams cutting inside. Driving the lane. Puts it off the glass. Gets the bucket. It's a 10-point game just like that. 64-54. Sturts with it. 4:17 and counting. Sturts looking around. Coming to the near side, beyond the arc. Now he's going to fade back. Sturts Looking, driving inside, through the lane, floater, too strong, rebounded by Maryland, saves it, but gives it to Iowa. Voulgaris takes it, gets the bucket. What in the world? Maryland saves it, but hands it to Voulgaris right underneath the bucket. 66-54. Unless they shoot a bunch of bricks, Tron, you should be good. Both teams need to practice free throws. Yeah, honestly. Ryan George, yep, Ryan George. We did a Ryan George reference pitch meeting there. If you're into the movie, I haven't watched really much of his stuff lately. I don't know what he's made, really. I haven't really watched much movies, just in general, to be honest with you. But you guys already know that if you've been subbed to the channel. Make sure, again, to like and subscribe, folks. Again, if everyone were to subscribe right now, we'd hit 6,900. Again, we're closing in. Needed 40 to begin. Now we're down to 30. So appreciate you guys, again, for subbing. Again, this is a growing channel, folks. Again, it is free. It'll say it up there somewhere. Like and subscribe, Dr. Lay. Look at that. It is free. Think of it more as a follow, folks. Again, if you like college basketball, I'll be doing this. Again, I'm doing 2 other games today. And of course, again, we'll be doing more stuff this week. But yeah, again, if you like the NFL, big on the NFL, the channel really pops up with the NFL. The NFL is king. King with me as well. I love the NFL. And of course, again, doing a lot of college football as well, and MLB, a lot of that stuff. Sabbatical, gotcha. Yeah, just really in months. It's been almost I don't even know. It might have been even a year at this point where I just haven't really seen much of his stuff. Again, a 12-point game with just under 4 to go. Let's see what's going on in the other games. NC State leading 81-74 over Pitt. Still got 9 minutes to go. That's a high-scoring game there. Iowa State leading Arizona State 45-16. That is just an embarrassment. And Kentucky and LSU 47-47. Unbelievable. Kentucky. Just a down year there. That is not good. That's the first round. That would be pretty pathetic for Kentucky to lose in the first round. Again, under 4 to go. Maryland down by 12. They've been in this range really for the last, I don't know, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. So, again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure, again, to like and subscribe. It is free. Think of it as a follow. But, yeah, Maryland going to be inbounding again, going left to right. Trying to keep their slim hopes alive. Adams with it, crossing half courts. Adams trying to get a pick. No, he's just going to take off. Looking around, kicks it out to Coit. Coit with it. Beyond the arc. At the logo. Looking around, driving in the lane. Coit, bounce pass to Washington. Washington could not slam it home, but he was fouled. And Iowa cannot believe it. Foul on Maniau. Banks couldn't believe. He thought he was the one with the foul there, and Banks would have been at 4. But no, Maniau, now that's his second. Washington, a 66% free throw shooter. Again, he struggled. Everyone struggled at the line today for both teams. So Washington doesn't hit the first. Again, Washington can't buy a free throw. He does have 11 rebounds, though. That is good, but he is just, it is off. Washington with the second. There it is. And he does get that one. 66-55. 3:33 and counting. Starts to Combs. Combs with it. Back to Sturts. Sturts looking around. Double teamed. Oh, he almost lost the ball, but finding Combs. Combs with it. Back to Sturts. 3:20 left to go. 13 left to shoot. Sturts with it. Driving in now. Going to back off. Backing off to the logo. Going to the far side. Again, going right to left is Iowa. And Sturts passes to Koch. Back to Sturts. Deep 3. That's an air ball. Saved by Iowa, but now the shot clock has went off. And Maryland will have it with 3:04 left to go. Not his best work there for Sturts, but again, I guess you took it all 30 seconds, so it's not the worst thing. Coit with it. Again, just under 3 to go. 11-point game as Coit passes to the corner. Back to Coit. Coit going to drive in. Passes to Narnia. No one's there. As it goes out of bounds, Coit can't believe it. Slapping hands with Watts. Not on the same page. And now Iowa, again, will have it with 2:49 to go. Again, 66-55. 121 on the total, by the way. An 11-point game. Here is Sturts. Sturts with it. They're trying to double team him, finding Koch. They are now going to pass it to Maniau. Maniau to Banks underneath the basket. Banks just puts it up. Almost lost the ball. That would have been a disaster, but does indeed hit it. 68-55. Congrats, Tron, on the over. As here is Coit. Coit looking around for Mills. Mills with it. He's going to drive it in. Puts it off the glass. Doesn't get the basket, but he was fouled. Maniau can't believe it. As Mills will go to the line for a couple of shots. He's at 76% from the line. Again, just everyone's below their average today. Everyone's just struggling. Love got this game. Or are you talking about Iowa? Yeah, Iowa probably. Mills again at the line for a couple of shots. There is the first. He does indeed get it. $12-point game. Mills with the second. Gets them both. That's kind of rare for this one, but there you go. 68-57. Sturts with it. Sturts finding Koch. Koch with it with 2:17 to go. Finding Maniau. Maniau back to Koch. Maniau is fouled, and he will head to the line. As Maniau is a 66% free throw shooter. Not a bad shooter at all. He's actually the worst free throw shooter based on the statistics, and that's pretty good to have, 66%. Again, 2:15 to go. So 1-and-1 opportunity for Maniau, and he misses. Rebounded there by Washington. Washington hands it off to Adams. Adams at the logo, trying to brush everybody off. Adams stepping back beyond the arc. Adams looking around. Double teamed. Adams in the corner. He's got to get rid of it. Floats it over to Mills. Mills trying to save it. He does. Mills driving to the lane. Puts it up. Doesn't get the basket. Rebounded by Maniau. And Sturts is fouled. So a foul there with 1:52. And Sturts again pretty good at the line. I think he's the best free throw shooter on their team with an 84% free throw percentage. Again, Maryland with the win over Oregon yesterday. Again, both teams last year making the big dance, but they, of course, were a first-round matchup in the Big Ten. That's how far they fell this year. As there is the first by Sturts, 69-57.